third Asian-Pacific Geopark Symposium, which shows also the great improvement of the geoparks in Asia-Pacific region, as the coordinator, Professor Como, said before. It's also a great pleasure to present the presentation of Professor Patrick 4keever, with whom we have worked for many, many years in order to gain progress to the global geoparks. Well, today's speech speaks about heritage and tries to show which is the mission of the global geoparks in comparison with the World Heritage Sites, and what will be the next steps for this adventure that started in 2000, and since that time we are traveling all around the world, local communities and people, together with scientists, local authorities and national governments, under the auspices of UNESCO, in order to achieve our goals. Well, we are talking about heritage, because geoparks are caring about heritage. But what is really a heritage? We can have different levels and different areas of heritage. Cultural heritage, which are nations or group historic monuments, museum collections, etc. Natural heritage, a nation's fauna and flora, natural resources and landscapes. Intangible heritage, which includes traditions, customs, and practices inherited from ancestors. Geological heritage is also a very important part of the heritage, because geological heritage is carrying the memory of the earth. Well, at the national and regional level, an increasing number of countries and regions are recognizing sites of geological significance. However, the number is still small, and often legislation drafted from sites of biodiversity significance is used. I mean, there is no specific legislation which is dedicated to the geological heritage. Globally, sites or places of geological significance can be given global recognition under the World Heritage Convention as World Heritage Sites, or by the Bureau of the Global Geoparks Network as Global Geoparks. So till now we have these two ways of international recognition of geological heritage sites. But given the fact that the World Heritage Convention has been operational since 1972, why is there the need for a new label such as geoparks that appeared in 2000, and from 2004 we have the Global Geoparks Network? Well, let's see what has been achieved under the World Heritage designation during the last years. Well, the World Heritage Sites include 981 monuments or sites in 160 countries. There is also recognized sites under the Man and Biosphere Reserve program, where we have 621 sites in 117 countries. Till this morning, global geoparks include 90 territories in 26 countries. Well, the Man and Biosphere program has also earth science interest. The biosphere reserves are sites established by countries to promote biodiversity conservation. They have as a nation partner like a core area, around that a buffer zone and transition zone for conservation and development. The criteria that sites must fulfill to be approved as biosphere reserves are related to important biological features, including biological diversity. In spite of the important role of geological substratum for the development of ecosystems, geodiversity is not part of the man and biosphere reserves focus. States its intention of making an application and include the sites in a tentative list. Then, the nomination file is prepared and sent to UNESCO, advising organizations such as IUCN and ICOMOS and ICCROM. Independent assessments are made, including a field inspection. A report is prepared for consideration by the World Heritage Committee, which meets annually. Finally, nominations can be accepted, deferred, referred or rejected. But what about in this broad network of sites of heritage, what about the earth heritage? Well, in July 22, we had 189 states parties have ratified the World Heritage Convention. 962 properties in 157 state parties are included in the list. From these, most of them are cultural sites. As you can see in the figure, 745 cultural sites, 188 natural, and 29 mixed sites. But from those, even 188 sites, 82 are inscribed under the criterion, only 82 are inscribed under the criterion 8, which is the criterion that refers to the geological heritage, and other criteria. And there are also 56 sites inscribed under the criterion 7 and 8, and only 16 exclusively only for geological conservation reasons. So you see that the geological sites included in the World Heritage List is really a very, very small part of the recognized heritage sites. This means that only the 1.6% of all the World Heritage sites are inscribed solely for their geological heritage. And this shows why we need, Earth's heritage need additional tools, complementary tools, in order to support the sites and promote the sites of our heritage. Well, what else should be included? Is enough that in order to be inscribed in the World Heritage Sites to have an important geological value for a site? No, for all World Heritage Sites we need outstanding universal value. And this outstanding universal value is very, very difficult to be proved for geological sites. And of course, except the outstanding universal value, we need to have site integrity, we need to have a management plan, and of course to fulfill the criteria. For geological sites, the criterion 8 is to be outstanding exams representing major states of Earth's history, including the record of life, significant significant ongoing geological processes in the development of landforms or significant geomorphic or physiographic features. Till now, even important geological sites, and some of them have obvious geological significance, didn't manage to be recognized as such. For example, you see the picture of one really flat geological monument, which is the rift, the Mid-Atlantic rift, just in the side of Pingervik in Iceland. Well, this is a historical site of the first parliament of Iceland, and indeed it was recognized under the cultural criteria and not under the geological criteria, even if the significance of the site is unique in geological terms. Convenium acts as advisor to UNESCO for natural, including geological World Heritage nominations. In 2005, IUCN recognized that the criteria of outstanding universal value are often non-appropriate to sites of geological interest. They devised a thematic strategy for increasing the number of geological sites on the World Heritage List. But they also recognized that the emerging Global Geoparks initiative could form a significant alternative for geological important sites, places to World Heritage inscription. Where the global network of national geoparks was formed in 2000 after a decision at UNESCO on the 20th of February. A geopark is an area with a particular geological heritage of international significance, but also with a sustainable development strategy or plan involving local communities, which is of exceptional importance for the recognition of geoparks. Is a geopark just about geology? No. While a geopark must demonstrate geological heritage of international significance, the purpose of a geopark is to explore, develop, and celebrate the links between the geological heritage and all other aspects of the area's natural, cultural, and intangible heritage. It is about the reconnection of human society at all levels to the planet we all call home, and to celebrate how our planet and its 4.6 billion years history has shaped every aspect of our lives and our societies. Where are the geoparks nowadays? Well, nowadays, geoparks are included in the global network are 90 areas, 90 territories spread across 26 countries in 4 continents, at least till this morning. This includes 52 in Europe as part of the European Geoparks Network, which was founded in 2000, and 36 in Asia-Pacific region as part of the Asia-Pacific Geoparks Network, founded in 2009. We also have members in America, North and South. Membership is for 4 years only, after which each geopark is subject to a rigid revalidation exercise. And this differentiates geoparks from the other lists of heritage sites, because geoparks membership, global geoparks membership, is not forever. How it works? Nomination file is prepared and submitted to UNESCO. Geological assessment is made by IUGS, the International Union of Geological Sciences experts. Parallel assessment is made by geoparks experts. Then we have a field evaluation by two independent experts coming from different countries than the applying territory. We try to have representatives in all evaluation missions coming from different geographical regions as far as possible. The final decision on the nomination of territories. These days, yesterday and today, the GTM Bureau is here in Jeju to take the decisions for the nominations of 2013. Nominations can be accepted, deferred, or rejected. And as I say again, membership is only for 4 years. Geoparks hold records of past climate change and have therefore played a key role locally in informing the current debate on present-day climate change. And this is so important about the role that the geoparks can play in one of the most important global problems. Many geoparks are in tectonically active areas of the world, where they have a crucial role in helping mitigate geohazards through awareness raising and building disaster response strategies. It's not my role to tell to you, coming off this special Asia-Pacific region, how important is this role of geoparks and what brilliant work has created on this subject many geoparks in countries of Asia-Pacific. Many geoparks also are former mining areas where local culture have been saved, often for generation, by exploitation of natural resources. Geoparks therefore are obliged to inform about the need to ensure the best practice in natural resource exploitation. But community participation is one of the most important subjects for a geopark. Global geoparks conceptualize community participation to reach far beyond the mere involvement of local stakeholders in the development of a project. Geoparks are about building community ownership, empowerment, sense of pride for their areas. Global geoparks consider their residents as experts of their territory and as geopark ambassadors. Are the local people who, being proud of their own territory, of the heritage of their territory, they are going to be the best to promote their own land. That's why local identity is the best thing to be preserved in a geopark. Global geoparks use the reflection of territories' earth heritage in traditions, local tales, songs, handcraft, and land use techniques, in local dialect and architecture, to build inclusive, sustainable regional development strategies. But also, geoparks have a very important role in communicating geoscience to the young people outside of the school curriculum, but also in accordance with the school curriculum. And here you can see some examples like the Kids Club created by North Pennines Geopark, or local rangers training, which is something very important in order to educate young people on the heritage of each geopark. And I can show you different examples. This is from Norway, where local politicians look at the education and participate in local educational activities together with the schools. And of course, through communicating geoscience, we make fun. But geoparks have also a special role in promoting territorial products. Here, for example, you can see agritourism products of special places like geoparks coming from Subbetia's geopark in southern Spain. But we have another picture from Saninka geopark with squids, and these are two examples showing how geoparks are connected with the promotion of local products. But how the geoparks are communicating geoscience, they introduce a different way of that. For example, here you see walking routes for inside fossil sites from Reserve Géologique de Provence, one of the first recognized geoparks in the world. And what's the difference? For example, here, instead of taking an important fossil and putting in the museum, which is in the top of the mountain, and you need to climb at the top to see the fossil, this geopark has made an effort in order to sign. And we have several other examples. You can see here, for example, a seismic table that had education, or an example on geohazards from Unzen Geopark in Japan. Of course, geoparks have different ways of communicating by publication, and of course, they are organizing capacity building activities in different areas of the world. Geoparks, of course, have this 4-year review in order to keep their quality label standard, and many of them include many World Heritage sites, but they are included in a broader territory, and we should avoid the overlapping exactly of the area of different nominations of UNESCO just in the same territory. But geoparks, as they are larger territories in order to support sustainable local development, have their benefit. UNESCO supported from the first moment the geoparks under the request of the member states, and the 36th General Conference of UNESCO asked the member states to go ahead in creating further bonds between geoparks and UNESCO. We have several advantages for UNESCO from Global Geoparks Initiative, which, for example, is the minimal cost to UNESCO. All costs for evaluation, etc., are carried by the global geoparks. All geoparks have agreed to a voluntary financial contribution to UNESCO for capacity building activities in order to extend the global geoparks network in the world, and especially in areas of interest like Africa. There is a clear association for UNESCO with high quality and valued work of the global geoparks. And of course, there are several advantages also for global geoparks that have much better recognition using the combined UNESCO logo, stronger coordination of capacity building activities, and several other advantages. Both levels are working complementary under the umbrella of UNESCO, and they are both have the involvement of IUCN and in order to keep high quality standards. I would like to thank once again the Third Asia Pacific Geoparks Network Organization Committee for giving me the opportunity to present this work, and I would like to invite you all in the 6th International UNESCO Conference on Global Geoparks, which will take place next September from 19th to 22 in this time in America in Stonehammer Geopark. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for the speech, Dr. Jones. Next, we have the second keynote speech